We have explored some aspects of motivation and how this can affect the willingness of people to embrace change. Understanding these aspects is a part of the picture. At a deeper level, people seem to be wired differently from each other. What we may describe as personality or temperament means that one person will react to change in a way that differs systematically from the way another person will respond. Understanding some of these systematic differences between people allows us to manage our relationships with a wide range of people more effectively. This understanding can inform the content, styles, and channels of communication that we choose, enabling us to connect effectively with as many people as possible. It can also help us to interpret the responses we receive more appropriately. The best-known example of type theory is based on original research by the psychologist Carl Jung and made operational through a psychological questionnaire, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. The model is based on 4 pairs of opposite preferences that people show. In each case, neither preference is better than its opposite. They simply lead to different choices. The analogy of being right or left-handed is often used. We can do most things with either hand, but one feels more comfortable than the other, and through regular use has become stronger. The 4 pairs of preferences are extrovert-introvert, sensing-intuiting, thinking-feeling, and judging-perceiving. It is important to recognize that when we are talking about extrovert-introvert, we are thinking about how people are energized. Extroverts are energized by the external world. They like talking to people, being sociable. They like to learn by activity and talk. They have lots of interests, speak first and think about it later, and like starting new things. Introverts are energized by their own inner world. They enjoy their own thoughts and feelings. They prefer writing to express ideas. They are a reflective learner, ask fewer, more serious questions, and think before they speak. When we are talking about sensing-intuiting, it is about how people process information. Sensing people focus on sensory data. They focus on what their senses tell them. They pay attention to definite, detailed facts, notice things in an orderly way, like getting information in clear stages, here and now approach. Trust experience. Intuiting people focus on interpretations and intuitions. They are a big-picture person, enjoy concepts and theory, look behind facts for meaning, future-oriented, and willing to trust intuitions. Thinking, feeling is how people make decisions. Thinking people make decisions through rational thought. They treat problems with logic, cause and effect reasoning, tough-minded. They look for objectivity, right answer, and appreciate just solutions. Feeling people make decisions through sensitive feelings, with empathy and consideration for others, with compassion, based on values and beliefs, seeking a widely accepted outcome and open to and accepting of others. Finally, judging, perceiving is the situations people prefer to be in. Judging people prefer situations to be cut and dried and clear. They like working to a timetable. They are systematic and methodical, like to plan, appreciate closure on decisions, and like the pressure of leaving things late. Perceiving people prefer more open-minded, ambiguous situations. They are spontaneous, happy with ambiguity, like to be flexible and adaptable, dislike restrictive systems, detailed plans, and positively enjoy urgent work. This model can help people clarify their own preferences and to understand how they differ from other people. From the descriptions of these types, it is easy to see how different people might misunderstand one another, especially when they have opposing preferences. They may end up in conflict, not because of the content of an issue, but because of their different ways of seeing things. The ideal is to look for the strengths that each person can contribute to a given situation. For example, the objectivity, rationality, and care for fairness of the thinking person will be of great importance to a good outcome from a meeting to discuss the impact of change on a work group. So will the natural sense of humanity and sensitive understanding of the people involved, which will be natural to the feeling colleague. Ideally, we value both, whilst respecting the different preferences from which they come. And if the two individuals can begin to understand and respect each other's contribution, they could begin to make a great team. I'm sure you are already thinking about your preferences. And you may be thinking of a time when there has been conflict during a change between these different personality types. As people have different personality types, it will affect their preferences at work and in learning. People with a strong sensing preference are likely to appreciate more detailed instruction. Those with an opposite intuiting preference will prefer more open-ended approaches. Those with a strong thinking preference typically seek more rigorous logic in their learning, and less personal support than those with the opposite feeling preference. Types of preferences will also affect the attitude to change. For example, someone with strong introvert and sensing preferences will display a thoughtful and down-to-earth approach that supports only careful, incremental change. By contrast, a person with strong extrovert and intuitive preferences is likely to favor engaging with others in dramatic and immediate change. An introverted, intuitive person will favor ideas and vision, whilst an extroverted, sensing person will want to organize immediate action. The differences between people highlighted by considering personality type have implications for many aspects of change. Be aware of different preferences in a group working situation. For example, allow time for those who are introverted to think. Avoid ideas being lost in the flow of ideas from an extrovert. When communicating change, ensure the vision for change is clear. For example, providing a big picture will satisfy those who are intuitive. A set of data and facts will meet the needs of someone with a sensing preference. For anyone involved in facilitating change, it is important to learn to observe, engage with, and get the best from a variety of people. This is a key element of ongoing personal and professional development. A framework, such as that used in the MBTI, can provide a useful structure for such observations.